France vs. SpaceX Starlink, a satellite showdown. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much once again joining me for tea time. Today, we have a little bit of mint tea. We're still in Europe. We're in Roma. We're in Italy. Thank you for being here. Today, we're going to be talking about SpaceX Starlink and what's going on between them and France. The EU. There's competition brewing, and I think rightfully so. I don't mind seeing this. It's something that they really need to do to stay sovereign, let's say. So we'll see what goes on with this. I was reading a few articles, and I think it's interesting because we can see how the world is looking at Elon Musk and SpaceX Starlink as a major, let's say, point of contention, right? A competitor in such that they need to somehow remain sovereign and not rely on the US, Elon Musk, for their connectivity, their space connectivity, let's say, satellites. So there's a lot of companies that have been trying to do it, and no one has been able to match the cadence in which SpaceX is launching these satellites. So right now, I think they're at about 7,600 satellites. It's a lot, guys. It is a lot. Anyways, we're going to get into that. I have an article I want to read to you, and then I'll give you my commentary as I always do. But more importantly, I want to hear from you down below. What do you think about all this? Do you think that this is something that should be going on? Do you think that they have even a possibility to be able to catch Elon Musk and SpaceX Starlink? Is it possible? Yes or no? Down below, I would love to hear from you. If you get anything from this video, as I always say, throw it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share with your community, your friends, family, colleagues, wherever you frequent, maybe Reddit or Facebook or wherever. And if you want to give back to the channel, there's a little thanks button over there. Click on that, give $1 or $2 if you like. If not, it's perfectly fine. The video is still free. Consider becoming a member of the channel. That would be even better. And if you haven't subscribed as of yet, consider doing so. And if you are, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Click this notification button over here. So when I go live or when a new video comes out, you will be notified of it immediately, if not sooner. We'll see. Sometimes YouTube does it. Sometimes they don't. YouTube, get it together. Get it together. Anyways, the article starts out by saying, France takes control, a power play in space. In a bold move to challenge Elon Musk's satellite dominance, France has become the largest shareholder in EU Telesat, the European satellite operator now merged with UK-based OneWeb. We've talked about OneWeb in the past a lot. The French government is injecting 717 million euro into EU Telesat as part of a $1.35 billion capital raise, locking in a 30% stake and overtaking all other shareholders, including the UK. Europe's answer to SpaceX Starlink. This isn't just about business, it's about strategy. While Elon Musk, SpaceX Starlink boasts over 7,500 satellites in low Earth orbit, or LEO, EU Telesat's OneWeb currently operates just under 600 satellites. But France isn't trying to match numbers. It's securing digital independence, ensuring Europe doesn't rely on American tech giants for critical communications like defense and government operations. Who's in and who's out? The capital raise is happening in two stages: a reserved offer for France and select strategic investors, and a public offering for existing shareholders. If the UK chooses not to buy in, its stake could drop from 11% to 8%, a quiet but powerful shift in influence over Europe's satellite future. Cutting debt, building power. EU Telesat's debt has reached about 4 times its core earnings before interest and loan payments. This cash injection will help them bring the ratio down to 2.5 times, giving the company room to grow and invest in future projects, especially its new European satellite network known as IRIS-2, expected to launch between 2027 and 2030. Strategic sovereignty, not just competition. France isn't just playing economic chess, it's reinforcing its grip on European space infrastructure. Eric Lombard, CEO of France's state holding company, calls it a, quote, a decisive step towards securing Europe's digital and space future. It's a message to both SpaceX Starlink and Washington. Europe intends to stand on its own. Why this matters. France is going all in on a SpaceX Starlink alternative. EU Telesat's future upgrades will shape Europe's tech autonomy. The UK's next move could tip the balance of control. Iris 2 could reshape the internet from remote connectivity to defense communications. This isn't just high-tech hardware floating in orbit, it's a battle for digital independence. And with France leading the charge, SpaceX Starlink just got its most serious competitor yet. I think that this is interesting because France now is going to be a little bit in control, right? They're putting a substantial amount of money into EU Telesat, which was once OneWeb, and they kind of merged everything together. And they're up to 600 satellites. Not bad, all right? Not bad. But in comparison to 7,600 satellites, 7,000 more, what SpaceX Starlink has, you just have to look at it as what it is. And they are far, far behind. For them to be able to hit 7,600 satellites will take them a decade. All right, they do not have a Falcon 9, something that's reusable, that can be launched in a cadence that SpaceX does. That is what sets SpaceX and SpaceX Starlink aside from any other launch provider. They can actually launch these things, reuse them, turn them around so quickly that they can get on orbit 100, 200 satellites sometimes in a week. No problem. So this is something that other countries as well as companies need to look at, because if they don't develop a reusable rocket, something like Elon Musk has with their Falcon 9, and in the future with Starship when it stops blowing up, they're not going to be able to compete. Period. End of story. That's just simply how it is. So they need to do that before they can even think about that competition. But having the sovereignty of having your own satellites up there is important, because you don't want to depend on another nation for your economic or governmental or even military security. That would be a problem, right? The US had something similar happen to it with certain presidents decided to shut down NASA, the space program and the space shuttle, and now we didn't have any way to get to the ISS and we had to hitch a ride with the Russians. Does that make a lot of sense to you? Probably not, but that's what we did. So the EU Telesat, and France, and all the rest of them are saying, listen, we need to have sovereignty. And the only way to do that is to have our own satellites on orbit. There is 600 currently, but we need a lot more to be able to match what SpaceX Starlink is doing. Remember, Elon Musk wants 43,000 satellites on orbit. Right now, he has 7,600. The thing is once Starship is online, not blowing up, and that little door comes down and the Pez dispenser starts launching out those version 3 satellites on orbit, they're not catching up. That's just simply it. Those version 3 satellites, each one of them is equivalent to 20 of the current version 2 minis. So what this means is when SpaceX decides to inject 100 of these version 3 satellites on orbit, it would be the equivalent to injecting 2,000 of the current version 2 minis. That is a big deal, guys. That is a big, big deal. And instead of only carrying 20, 25, 26 satellites, they'll be able to carry 80, maybe even 100 or more satellites on orbit each time. So they're going to be able to really ramp up the number of satellites on orbit every single week, every single month. Because what they're going to do is they're going to be launching those version 3 satellites through the Starship and not the Falcon 9 anymore. But Starship is going to be able to launch at a cadence of 25 maximum per year, 25 launches. So if you were to put 100 on orbit, that's 2,500 new satellites every single year. That is a lot of satellites. It's very difficult to compete with that. And that is what Jeff Bezos is experiencing right now with his project Kuiper. They've put on orbit 20-some satellites to date, and now supposedly they were going to launch every single month, another 25, 27, 28, 30, 40, and guess what? It hasn't happened. A month has went by, and now it's going to be 2 and 3 and 4, and they're expecting to launch sometime before the end of the year. This is what I predicted when this whole thing went down. And that's why way back when I said Jeff Bezos' Project Kuiper will not be competition for years to come. There's just simply not going to be enough satellites on orbit for him to be able to turn the thing on. That's just it. Because if you turn it on with not enough satellites, there's going to be downtime all the time when these satellites are out of the area where you're trying to use them. So even if they're trying to reach North America and there's, let's say, 200, 300, 400 satellites, you're still going to have an uptime of maybe 80%, 70%. And then even at that, when the satellites are out of the picture and they're just on the outer periphery, you're going to have extremely slow speeds. That's just it. It will not be able to be a powerful system until they have 600, 700, 800 on orbit, and it's not going to happen soon. So anyways, kudos to France and UK and all the rest of them here in Europe, because once again, they need to remain sovereign. And if you rely on another nation for what you're doing, once again, for your government or for your infrastructure or definitely for your military, well, that's just simply a problem. It just doesn't make sense, right? So what do you think about all this? I'm in Europe right now. We're sitting in Rome, and we're going to be moving around. We'll be in Greece in not too distant future, and I'll be sharing a lot of the video and photos that I capture. So definitely stay tuned for that. Maybe I'll put some B-roll at the beginning of my videos and some at the end so you can kind of see what's going on. I hope you enjoy it. If you want to see more of my video coverage, you can always go to my Instagram page over at instagram.com/JosepHCristina, not JCristina, JosepHCristina. And if you just want to hang out with me and talk back and forth, the community page is perfect because I can share photos in there as well as just chat. So check those out also. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this today. If you have, throw it a thumbs up. That'd be very helpful. Head over to my website, JCristina.com/shop. Check out my merch. If there's something there that you like, pick it up. Help support me and my family. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay connected, maybe with SpaceX Starlink, and we'll see you in the next one. Love you guys.